Hello and welcome back to Analytical Lily, where I analyse your favourite films. Today, we're going to be looking at the genius of a film, Tick Tick Boom. My initial thought after watching Tick Tick Boom was kind of scary. It left me in a state of realisation that we're not here forever and that our own clock has started ticking from the moment that we're here until we are gone. And so I don't know about you, but I haven't done anything quite crazy enough to fulfill my life, so I found this film quite daunting. Tick Tick Boom was originally a musical theatre production written by Jonathan Larson, telling the story of an inspiring 29-year-old writer, John. He is scared of turning 30 and have unaccomplished anything big. After trying to find his break for over 10 years, he decided to perform his piece solo in the 90s. He wrote a second musical, Rent, which was very successful and even went on Broadway. But the night before Rent's opening night, John tragically passed away from an aortic aneurysm. Lin-Manuel Miranda is a singer, songwriter, actor, producer, film director and film writer, who is popular for many films and productions such as Hamilton, Encanto, In the Heights, and a later production of Tick Tick Boom. Lin empathised with John's story as he knows exactly what it's like to be in the writing industry and having your work been let down. So John Larson is a very important person to Lin. You're probably wondering why I'm talking about Lin, and that's because he directed Tick Tick Boom, which is crazy, and it was actually his first film he's ever directed. In the opening scene, I love how John walks onto the stage illuminated with pride. The first thing he does is introduce himself with, "Hi, I'm John." This immediately makes us feel comforted and welcomed, which tells us that he wants us to feel a direct connection with him. He goes to talk a little bit about himself and then almost interrupts himself, talking about a ticking sound that he's hearing in that moment in time and that he's been hearing in general. He continues to describe the noise and how it makes him feel. The pace and tone increases to really get that mood across and almost allow us to feel what he's feeling. The title pops up on the screen, which then interrupts him again, which gives us another window to connect with him, as we would probably be expecting him to finish his sentence. Once the title pops off the screen, he then sings 3090. The fact that he doesn't finish his sentence also tells me that he's always trying to race time and be faster than time in it to enable him to do what he actually wants to do, which is impossible. You can't race time. It's kind of almost a fight within himself. 3090 is all about him turning 30 in the 90s and how the 90s is such an alive time, and that he's turning 30, he may feel too old to enjoy what everyone else is enjoying, and he might feel too out of place, and how special it's been and how close they've been. It's almost a reminiscence of their life together, and he's happy that he's shared his life with Michael. Throughout the film, we've seen John jotting down things on his little notebook, which we haven't actually seen him use that material yet, and he explains to Susan, which is the last time that they see each other, when she gives him a new sheet music, but for his new play she asks, like, have you started? And he said he's just got loads of questions, and she says that's a really good place to start, and I think that's a nice ending for their little story, and also tells us that those questions are in fact for his new musical. It cuts to the final song called Louder Than Words. This song is a perfect way to conclude every storyline of this film, and it's a very influential way to look back on all the running themes of this film, such as creativity, inequality, injustice and time, how we put people into different categories, and how we dehumanize people because of their background or beliefs, and in general just how we treat ourselves and our surroundings. At the end of the song, John plays Happy Birthday very delicately, very softly, and then there's a clip of him on his 30th birthday, but the song pauses before the final note, again bringing back the idea of having unfinished business. Michael then says, "Make a wish," and just before John blows out the candles, he looks at the camera and smiles, and then the screen goes black, and then there's the final note. So very impactful, and I think it just works really well, because we still have some questions, but I think that's what they wanted. They wanted to give us a sense of unfinished work just like how Jonathan was scared of. So that's the film analysed. So let's get some feedback from other people.
Hey!
Did you like the film Tick Tick Boom and why? And if not, why?
I loved Tick Tick Boom so much. I thought it was really good. I'm not really a massive fan of musicals, not my preferred genre, but I did enjoy it. I thought Andrew Garfield was very good as Jonathan Larson. That's why I'll give you that.
I did like it, mainly because of the fact it had really good music.
What was your favourite part?
I liked the bit where the guy got the new apartment. Hello, new
Oh, you like no more.
Yeah, I liked that one. That was really good. Swag.
It's probably just the first song, because I just really like it. I really like that one song. Stuck in my head.
What part made the most impact on you? I mean, I don't
Yes.
When Jonathan goes to Michael's apartment, and then, or is it his office? And then he's like, I'm HIV positive. Hold on.
Do you think it was well made?
Yeah, I think they put a lot of effort into it. It wasn't like one of those, like, just quick films that Netflix makes for money. I think it was well crafted. It was, yeah, it had a good story. It had good music. Especially for 90. It's good!
Amazing, perfect. Thank you.
If you can change anything, what would you change?
Green dress.
Why?
20 buttons and a strap.
Why?
I think it was one of the best songs, and I'm sad it wasn't in the thingy.
So the deluxe version.
Yeah.
If I could change anything, I definitely wouldn't change Andrew Garfield. Whoa! And put myself in parts where Andrew Garfield was.
I also like the swimming pool scene when he's swimming along, and then the tiles become notes, and he's like, I got it. I thought that was clever, because as they were telling, I was like, oh, shiz.
What do you think the main purpose of this film is?
I think the main purpose of this film is to get Jonathan Larson's story out there. I did shed a tear. Would have shed more, but I was dehydrated at the time.
Well, I think it's different for everyone. The purpose for me was to get me dancing around my room. Money. And they put a name like Andrew Garfield onto it. When he becomes semi-popular again, with No Way Home, stuff saying that he's coming back, kind of gives a film a little bit of a boost.
Who do you think the film is for?
I think it's for musical theatre fans who specifically enjoy Rent, but might not have known the tragic backstory behind it.
People who love Andrew Garfield.
Thank you so much, Tom, for joining.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Analytic Lily, for having me on the show.
And that's it. That's Tick Tick Boom, a masterpiece that I think everyone should watch because there's at least one aspect that everyone can relate to. The film has a unique element of how it switches from dialogue, narration and song, which I think is very different, especially in musicals. All three factors have such an important role in the story, and they all work very well to portray what they want to portray in that moment. Lynn has really taken good advantage of the fact that the musical is made into a film, because some productions that have been turned into film are the same but just filmed, whereas he's really used editing and effects to his advantage. There is so much more potential to make the productions more alive and creative by making them into a film, and I think that he did that perfectly. And you definitely can't tell that that's his first film ever directing. So, answering the questions, I think this film was made to inspire people and let people know that things can go, even though it feels like everything's falling apart, there's always an up. We see this in John's life. We see that he's had so many lows, more lows than highs, but he's ended up being very successful even though he might not be able to experience it. I think this film is for people who enjoy theatre, but also everyone, and I know that sounds really broad. There are so many different things that people can relate to, or characters they find resemblance in, that I just don't think there's a specific group of people that can watch this film. But if I would have to choose one group of people, I would say people who are interested in musical, theatre, writing, or film. I don't think the creators want us to feel sad about John's story. I think they want us to feel more inspired than anything. And just to make us reflect on his story and just know not to take our time for granted and live life the way that we want it. So that concludes this episode. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the upcoming video. Bye!